The big news this morning and last night is around CNN trying to restrict others from commenting on the debate, the presidential debate live. And the reason is they want to control narrative. I was recently on Steven Crowder's show, Louder with Crowder. I said if this was really about money for CNN, they would have offered licenses using their brand and name recognition because their viewership certainly ain't there. They would have, and this is not sustainable viewership for them. They don't get to do presidential debates all the time. They would have said to third-party channels, give us X amount of dollars and you will have a license. That would have been the easiest thing for everybody. No, it's about narrative control. And with this story, I'm going to explain why. We got this reporting last month from the Daily Caller. FBI brought props to stage infamous Trump crime scene photo. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have admission from the FBI. They have framed Donald Trump. I'm going to stress it again. We now have admission from the FBI that they framed Donald Trump in the documents case in Florida. I am going to show you the document. I am going to show you the story. And I'm going to explain exactly what they're doing and how it works. First, we have this from the Daily Caller back in May 7th. FBI brought props to stage the infamous photo. As you can see right here where it says secret, SCI, contains sensitive compartmented information, we now know, based on a statement from the FBI, this was not in Trump's possession. That's right. Those secret confidential papers that appeared in those photos that went viral were put there by the FBI. Now, I don't want to waste time. There's going to be a bunch of liberals screaming, yeah, but that's because the documents there were already classified and they were just highlighting it. First, that doesn't change the fact that they staged a photograph they did not need. They tampered with evidence in a way that is unheard of. Show the evidence for what it is. Are there documents there? Are they classified? Show them. Imagine if a person was found murdered and the FBI showed up, pulled out a driver's license for some guy they thought did it and put it on top of the body and then posted that photo on the internet. What's the assumption? The guy must have left his ID there or something like that. No, this was faked. They admitted it. Now, why this matters more than just they staged a photograph, what are they doing? Affecting public perception. They want this photo to go viral. You see this right here? August 31st, 2022 from Business Insider. A photo shared by the DOJ of materials recovered at Mar-a-Lago clearly showed documents labeled top secret with distinctive cover sheets that are hard to miss. The only problem is fake. All of these cover sheets in the image, fake. Here you go. Julie Kelly, holy ish. Special counsel Jack Smith just admitted the FBI added cover sheets to alleged classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago and took photos for evidence. This confirms my report from last month that the FBI doctored evidence to produce stunt photos of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. They write, as part of the processing of seized documents marked classified, ERT photographed the documents, parentheses, with appropriate cover sheets added by FBI personnel next to the box in which they were located. Photographs attached at Exhibit 8 are examples. Ladies and gentlemen, they staged this. They put these fake cover sheets on top of these documents, and they did it to frame Donald Trump. Let's talk about what this is. First, the Daily Caller had this report from May 7th. It was more speculative. The FBI brought props to its raid of former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago for classified documents that were pictured in an infamous photo taken at the alleged crime scene, according to court documents. Jay Bratt, the lead DOJ prosecutor now assigned to special counsel Jack Smith team, admitted in a recent filing that the FBI agents brought cover sheets reading top secret to use as placeholders. Really. The classified documents, however, now appear to be out of order. Following their seizure, both Trump's defense attorney and special counsel have admitted, according to court documents, first reported by Declassified with Julie Kelly. The crime scene photo of classified documents allegedly found at Mar-a-Lago, complete with the bright red classification cover sheets, went viral in the weeks after the raid. Corporate media outlets breathlessly reported on the photo and the cover sheets as proof that Trump had been storing classified documents at his Florida property. If the investigative team found a document with classification markings, it removed the document, segregated it, and replaced it with a placeholder sheet. The investigative team used classified cover sheets for that purpose. Meaning, even these photos where you see secret listed, these documents, they're claiming these were placeholders. This is a fake photograph, a fake photo that the FBI produced. If the investigative team found a document with classification markings, it removed the document, segregated it, and replaced it with a placeholder sheet. The whole thing was fake. The investigative team used classified cover sheets for that purpose. In a May filing, defense attorney for Trump, co-defendant Waltine Nauta, wrote that the placeholders which the FBI brought to the scene to mark classified documents and stacks were out of place. Following defense counsel's review of the physical boxes and the documents produced in the classified discovery, defense counsel has learned the cross-reference provided by the special counsel's office does not contain accurate information. 13 boxes or containers contain documents with classification markings. And in all, over 100 unique documents with classification markings were seized. Certain of the documents had colored cover sheets indicating their classification status. And they're going to say, see the photo. They wrote in a 2022 filing. Kelly writes that Bratt's original filing did not explain where those classified document sheets had come from, though later he admitted that they were in fact brought by the FBI. In other words, in their zeal to stage a phony photo using official classified cover sheets, FBI agents might have failed to accurately match the placeholder sheet with the appropriate document. This is a potentially case-blowing mistake. Mistake? Wow. Calling it that. Particularly, if the document in question is one of the 34 records that represents the basis of espionage charges against Trump. In response to Nauta's filing, Bratt admitted that the placeholders had been rearranged and that not all of them had been properly matched with the right placeholder sheet. Placeholder sheet! Amazing. In many, but not all instances, the FBI was able to determine which document with classification markings corresponded to a particular placeholder sheet. While Trump is being charged for mishandling classified documents, President Joe Biden had a special counsel of his own investigate him for his handling of similarly classified documents. Despite the FBI seizing documents from Biden's Delaware home, the photo of the raid showed the president's document in boxes rather than sprawled out with the top secret placeholders. Fascinating. So why are they doing it? Why did they make this fake photograph? Look at this. There's even a ruler of some sort next to a fake document that they put there on the ground. Here's the reality. It would seem that, yes, Trump did have classified documents. I can fully accept that. Now, the question is, should he be criminally charged for them? The reality is, in a bunch of boxes kept by Trump were magazine covers, newspaper clippings, etc. Letters, and I think they mentioned this even in the Business Insider article. I could be wrong. Look at this, top secret. This is fascinating. They show this top secret document, and the FBI put that there. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. Trump had a bunch of boxes. Trump's defense is arguing they don't know when those documents were put in or why. So here's what happens. While working at the White House as president, Donald Trump has documents from all over added to various boxes full of magazine clippings and otherwise. He likely does not know exactly what these documents are for. Most people probably weren't even paying attention to them. Trump brought the boxes with him when he left. Considering these documents were out of order and placed seemingly randomly in the boxes, it would seem Trump did not really have a plan for what any of these things were. Now, here's why it matters. Biden won't be charged in classified documents case. Special counsel cites instances of poor memory. It's all about framing. The FBI is trying to frame a story with staged photos to frame Donald Trump. The narrative? Joe Biden, he's got a poor memory. He didn't know what he was doing, so we can't charge him. In the Joe Biden case, the investigators found that not only did Joe Biden intentionally take classified documents, he did so to make money. That's right. Biden had the classified documents because he wanted to use them in a book he was planning on writing that he would sell. Donald Trump, it would seem, didn't know he had the classified documents. They were randomly strewn about in different boxes of knickknacks and who's-its. So here's what they have to do. When they interview Joe Biden, they say, look, he's got a poor memory. They're not going to be able to prosecute him successfully, so they just won't. For Donald Trump, they break into his home, litter about a bunch of different documents that they put props on top of, take a picture, and send that picture out to the press. Here's what happens. Maybe someone shared this video with you. Maybe you're a liberal. You decided to watch the video. You could swear that Trump had these classified documents. How do you feel now knowing that those cover sheets were all fake and the documents were placeholders and that these were all actually just in random boxes? Perhaps you say, well, he shouldn't have had them in the first place. Okay, I can respect that. You should not have the classified documents. Trump should have done a better job of figuring out why they were there. Perhaps he's just an old man with a poor memory. Now I ask you in the same breath, why isn't Biden being charged for the exact same thing? Now, you want to argue that Trump was trying to profit off it? By all means, go ahead and do so. We don't see that in the reporting. I'll argue Joe Biden, we know, said he wanted to write a book about it. In fact, his ghostwriter deleted evidence concerned about it. The FBI framed Trump, and now you believe it. You saw the photos? You saw these photos, didn't you? Oh, no. They're not real. It's a fake photograph for the press. Despite all of this, a lot of people are predicting that Donald Trump is going to win. But here's the article from CNN. Based on this filing, do you think they mentioned the staging of the photographs? Nope. Special counsel defends investigators' handling of Mar-a-Lago documents kept in haphazard manner by Trump. Or how about the reality is that a bunch of random boxes of papers that were left lying around and he didn't even know it was in them. That's the amazing thing. They say Trump personally chose to keep documents containing some of the nation's most highly guarded secrets in cardboard boxes, along with a collection of other personally chosen keepsakes of various sizes and shapes from his presidency. Newspapers, thank you notes, Christmas ornaments, magazines, clothing, and photographs of himself and others. Is it perhaps possible that Trump is an old man with a bad memory and didn't realize these documents were there? I mean, Joe Biden's got documents in numerous locations. He's not being criminally charged, and why not? The latest bid to toss the case came after prosecutors acknowledged that some of the documents fell out of order within their individual boxes after they were seized. Trump's attorneys have previously argued that because the order of contents in the boxes was changed, it impacts their ability to build a defense around when certain classified material was placed in each box, given where it was inside Mar-a-Lago and what documents, including news articles were beside it. That is to say, Donald Trump may not even have known there were classified documents in any of these boxes. Here's another game they play. Many of you may be saying, but I heard that audio they leaked of Donald Trump saying, I could have declassified this, but I didn't. And he's holding up the papers in front of the people. Did you watch a video of it? When that happened, the prediction I had was this. For all we know, Donald Trump had a Politico printout, and he says, I could have declassified that, referring to the story itself, not a classified document. Well, it turns out that's what it was. Donald Trump, his legal team, said he was holding up newspaper clippings, talking about classified information, and Trump said he should have declassified it. He wasn't talking about a document that was classified. He was holding up in front of random people. They make that stuff up. Trump's no saint, but this is shocking stuff. I can't believe it. Now, right now, a lot of liberals and Democrats are upset because it seems like Trump's going to win this one, too. Quote, I don't appreciate your tone. Judge in Trump documents case reprimands prosecutor. The judge presiding over Donald Trump's classified documents case reprimanded a prosecutor from special counsel Jack Smith's office at a hearing Monday on a proposed gag order for the former president. Judge Eileen Cannon said, "I don't appreciate your tone," when attorney David Harbach appeared to get exasperated as she questioned the need to modify Trump's conditions of release. Smith's office has challenged those conditions over Trump's false claims that FBI agents were prepared to kill him while they were executing a 2022 search warrant at his Mar-a-Lago estate. They were. They were authorized to use lethal force. The response from the corporate press was, no, FBI agents are always authorized to use lethal force. Okay, so you agree that they were authorized to use lethal force? Yeah, but it's normal. They're always. When dealing with a former president and the current front runner for the presidency, I don't believe you need to authorize lethal force in any way. In fact, that sounds really, really stupid. The Secret Service does not typically allow, it's my understanding, other parties to have guns in their presence. If the Secret Service is going to be at a location, say the FBI is going to raid it, the Secret Service doesn't allow the FBI to carry weapons in there. Or typically they would not allow third parties. Why? Because if gunshots ring out, they don't know who's shooting. They want to make sure that in a private, secured space, the only ones who will be shooting will be them. Or at least they'd like it to be. Well, they wouldn't want that to be the case, but in the event of a shooting, they want to make sure they know the person shooting is one of their guys. The tense exchange at a federal courthouse in Fort Pierce came as attorney Harbach was arguing that Cannon should bar Trump from making more inflammatory statements about FBI agents who worked on the investigation. Cannon had noted that the agents' names were redacted in court filings, while Harbach was pointing out the agents were doxxed shortly after the search. Cannon told Harbach that his behavior was unprofessional and warned she would require someone else to make his arguments if he did not correct his behavior. Harbach later apologized. "I didn't mean to be unprofessional." Defense attorney Todd Blanche urged Cannon to deny the prosecution's request, arguing that Trump's comments cited by government attorneys were directed at President Joe Biden and not the FBI. If you look at the actual posts, there's no threats to FBI agents. The attacks are against Joe Biden. One of Trump's Truth Social posts last month falsely claimed that crooked Joe Biden's DOJ, in their illegal and unconstitutional raid of Mar-a-Lago, authorized the FBI to use deadly force. That's true. Trump's statement last month were based on a standard policy statement limiting the use of deadly force that is commonly included in search warrants, according to the FBI. So Trump didn't, this is amazing, falsely claimed, but then in the second paragraph, they confirm it's true. Isn't that amazing? Trump was not in Florida during the raid. The FBI coordinated the search of Mar-a-Lago when it knew he would be out of state. And the issue is they had a contingency plan for should he arrive, and they were authorized to use lethal force. NBC acknowledges that it's a standard policy statement. We all agree on that, but call it false. How is it false? It's true. Take your pick. NBC News lives in Wally World. Blanche told the judge Monday that if she agreed to modify the terms of Trump's release to bar him from making similar statements in the future, Trump could be arrested if he violated the order during Thursday's presidential debate. Blanche also contended the proposed restrictions are so vague that they are incredibly chilling. Harbach urged Cannon to act now and not wait for tragedy to strike. Cannon suggested that she was skeptical of Harbach's argument that Trump's comments can be followed by violence from his supporters, saying some actual connection between A and B was still needed. Cannon did not issue a ruling on the prosecutor's request for a gag order at the end of the 90-minute-long hearing. Instead, said both sides have until Wednesday to file additional evidence for her to consider. Trump has pleaded not guilty to charges relating to his handling of classified material. No trial date has been set, and it likely won't. People largely believe this will not happen until this case will not happen until after the election, in which I think Trump's going to win. Some big news, which we'll have a segment for you on in a little bit. Julian Assange's release. We talked about it last night. I believe the reason the Joe Biden administration has released Julian Assange is that they expect to lose in November. And they do not want Trump to have federal control or leverage over Julian Assange, who can provide incriminating information on Democrat and Republican establishment politicians. So they cut him loose. They send him on his way because they have no reason to do this. A plea agreement for time served and he gets to go home? That's strange. It was Donald Trump who was going after Julian Assange for the most part. And it's likely because Trump knows Julian Assange has information that will implicate uniparty establishment individuals. I've spoken with many people who believe that's the case, who work in and around the Beltway. I want to be vague here for people's privacy and security. But now, it looks like Trump's going to win, and they're hedging their bets for it. They've tried everything. They're even trying to put him in prison, and it's not going to work. Now we know that the FBI framed Donald Trump. Because what's the real story? Bumbling dotard Trump, Biden, Obama, Clinton, they all had classified documents, all of them. Not to mention that Donald Trump is the president who has plenary declassification powers and could just say it's not classified anymore because it's my discretion. And they've denied him that right. Well, here we are. The game is rigged, man. Take a look at this. Next segment's coming up at 4 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all then.